Okay, hey guys, this is Reverend Sean over the Center Path, and today we're doing number 11 of the Wheel of Dependent Origination. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 is right here. And that's an interesting one because we just finished Bhava or becoming, right? As karmic forces come together, right? We end up with it's obvious that the karmic forces, as they develop, become a rebirthing or some kind of birth or some kind of a um, re-existence. Actually, is what it's really supposed to be. Let's see, dependent, yeah, meaning birth. Jati, Jati is this one here, and here we see actually a woman in her little house, and she is laying face down, and here she's giving birth to a little baby person. That could be you or me. Now we're talking about the in the entire part of dependent origination. We're really talking about how karmic action, which that's what karma means. Karma means action. It's not retributive, and it's not judgmental, and it's not. It doesn't award you for good deeds necessarily, right? So, for example, when you do something like put your hand on a hot stove, you get burned. That is the karma of placing your hand on the hot stove. Was it being mean to you because you had bad karma from before because you burned someone else? No, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Really, in this form of karmic action, which is what karma means, it just has to do with what we're doing, right? Now, there's karma that takes a long time to become ripe, we would say. There's a karma that is very quick. There's some karma, as we're looking in through here, that takes about 9 months. Actually, after these guys here, with their becoming together, they sleep together or have this like idea and through the process to make a kid. That's how you get a kid, right? It's through the actions of doing that. And so that's what we're trying to understand with this one and all of the parts of dependent origination. We're trying to put this into our own psyche. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean physical birth because it can mean a spiritual birth. It can mean a psychological or an emotional birth or a mental birth. So, for example, if we become really angry and do things, we could become, right, be born as the angry person. And that's moment by moment by moment as we walk into a room, right? Sometimes we walk into a room, we can find things that we like, find things we don't like, find things that are we are neutral to. There may be a person there that makes us angry. We don't know why. So we become, we're suddenly reborn in that moment as a angry person, or as the upset person, or as the happy person, or as the generous person, or as the kind person, or as the what is it? As the empathetic person, something like that. So remember, we're doing these to put them into perspective for ourselves in our daily practice and our own meditation. So when we're looking at a meditation for this one here, we're looking at rebirth, right? And we're not talking about reincarnation, right? That's a different thing. Re means to do again, right? Re in Go into carne. Carne means meat. So you're born again into the body, into a body. That's reincarnation. That is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about rebirth, rebirth or re-existence, right? From becoming into birth, becoming to existence as it is. Now, this is using a very strict and very um, easy, low grasping kind of idea of birth itself. But we're using it as a way to understand that we're coming into this world as something based on the past, right? Based on our past actions, based on our past thinkings, based on our past activities and influences and all of that stuff. Now, some of these influences in karma actually come from before you were born. They come from your parents and your parents' parents, and your parents' parents' parents, etc., all the way back because of where you were born. What situations were you born in? What situations were your parents born into? And how did they make decisions that affect you now? Now, sometimes that could be you were born in an area where there's a lot of suffering, more suffering than other people. Now, does that mean you're bad? No, it doesn't mean that. Does it mean they had bad decisions? Well, remember, this is interwoven. So we have other decisions of other people and other things and other activities all weave together to make this weird little tapestry that is our experience of that life. So this one here is the like the culmination. Oops, I want to move me. I wanted to move that thing. There we go. Is the culmination of all of these here: the grasping, the clinging, searching, the feeling, the even the in the sixth sense doors, and all of these kind of things all add up to this as a birth. Now, it could be our physical birth, that's true, but it's also our mental birth, our rebirth, our thinking birth, and we're different all the time. So this whole wheel in through here is not just about a lifetime, right? Because it begins with kind of like ignorance and being blind, and eventually you discover that there's the monkey mind is going all over the place. It has to do with your life, but not in a strict linear kind of way. This can be a very fast, over a few moments, go through the entire uh, wheel of dependent origin. It could be a couple weeks, like we're doing here with this class. We're learning about it, and maybe it comes up with some insights or some thoughts or some ways of thinking that can help us, right? So we're thinking about that rebirth. How am I becoming and being born into this moment, right? Like, for example, I work at a mental hospital, and in that process, I enter rooms, and the vibe in a group is different every time. Sometimes it's amazing, and we can like get so much done, and the insights and all these good things. And just like these videos as well, sometimes I sit down and I'm like, wow, I got it, I'm in. Sometimes it's clunky, I've noticed, and you may have noticed that too. So if you've noticed something like that, comment in the bottom, let me know. I mean, let me know if there's something I can clarify, or you had an insight, or you have some insight on this. And don't forget to go down like, well, up here and look for the next video, and down here to look to subscribe, because if you subscribe, you can get the rest of the videos. Now, this is number 11 of the 12 parts of the dependent origination, but I think it's 14 so far of the entire class that we're doing. And we're going through the whole thing. Next one we're going to do is this one right here, which is kind of an interesting one. We'll talk a little bit of the history and the concept of this, a little foreign to some of us. This has to do with a burial, and I'll discuss that one. And then we'll jump right into the Wheel of Samsara and the six realms. So this is Reverend Sean over the center path. I want you guys to, give me a comment if you like. Give a thumbs up and all that stuff. Share it, whatever. I mean, let's learn about this together. And as we learn about it, we're able to put it more into our daily lives and be a little bit more introspective and just be better. That's the idea of Buddhism, right? It's not about making prostrations necessarily and saying the name of the Buddha and making offerings and being pacifist. This is a very active thing. We see that as things arise, right? There we go. Anyway, this is Reverend Sean. Take care. You guys have a good one. Bye.